I feel like you're so strong to be able to show up and share your story, because what you're doing, I think, is maybe even more powerful than you know, because you're showing the true challenges that come with immigration in this system that so many people aren't aware of. We see in our country this rhetoric that immigrants, especially dreamers or people on programs like DACA, are being given a golden ticket, that they have an easy pathway into maybe someday citizenship in America. But as your story shows, that's not true. There's so many hardships that come with, finding this path and coming to America and leading it. So I'd love for you to just continue demystifying what DACA is, what is this program, and what are the challenges that come with being an immigrant in this country on a program like DACA.
So DACA is something that was put into place because of a lot of direct actions, a lot of political actions. I was a part of that campaign that led to this victory that pushed President Obama to take action and protect people. So it's one of the things I'm really proud about. And it allows for people like me to have an opportunity to have a work permit, to travel if we ask for permission. They called it parole, which is kind of like, it's wild.
That's
Hello.
But I think the word reminds us of the connections between immigration is not disconnected from criminal justice, and the way in which Black and brown people's bodies are continued to be criminalized.
Oh yeah.
They use the same words. It's the same systems. It's the same
and it's a lot of the same
centers.
companies, running the detention centers, which is wild.
I mean, look at ICE, which is one example, right? It's like they are a literal government wing connection to how folks are still incarcerated.
Yeah. And it's $1 billion, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE is I think $6 billion sort of thing that didn't exist.
That's also privatized.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, come on, I see you.
No, I'm very upset about that.
No, I think, and I feel like that's so important for all of us to be able to both be open to learning, because, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I grew up, as I shared with you, Southern Baptist in Texas. And there was a time in my life where I thought that being gay or queer was a sin. It was like the worst thing that you could do. I was just repeating the things that I was listening to at home. And here I am, 15 years later, queer AF, being in my fullness. And it just reminds me that we may be seeing and hearing so many anti-immigrant stuff from people, and that's probably also a result of their own, where they are, the people that they surround themselves with, which is why I believe that community is the antidote, because when you meet new people, when they open your eyes, it's what helped me come out as queer. It's what's helped me be able to say that out loud. And the more that we're able to create space for us to ask questions, to research, the better it is that people are able to come to the conclusion that immigrants are good for this country. We are $1 trillion industry in the U.S. Immigrants were able to hold and move us through the pandemic because we were the essential workers that made all of the things possible.
Absolutely.
And pay far more taxes than a lot of the 1% even, from what I've
yeah,
learned
and then that check don't come back.
No, exactly.
So, yeah, I think it's a moment of being what's the word, extending grace to one another, even in the vitriol, because
absolutely,
at the end of the day, we're gonna be in this together. So DACA is an example of victory, but it's also an example of how the opposition are just sore losers, straight up. We won this, Donald Trump said in his first administration that he was gonna get rid of the DACA program. He went out of his way to put it in every single court, and then he got it into the Supreme Court. We were able at United We Dream to lead the fight to defend it and ensure that millions of families had the opportunity to have work permits and be able to travel. And we won. And so it was a huge ass deal. We were at the Supreme Court. And then a couple of years ago, the Republicans were like, nah, we're gonna try that again, because we're not gonna take the L. We're just gonna, so they're running it up against the courts again. It's the same thing that we're seeing with Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, absolutely.
The continued attacks led by states like Texas and Governor Abbott, Governor DeSantis. And I guess we don't know what the future of DACA could be. I have stress dreams about the possibility of the program ending, and not only the impact that it could have on me and my life and my sister's life, but also the members that I represent, and what that means for all of us.
Want to keep seeing if everything is fine? Subscribe, comment, and like, and we can keep figuring it out together.